Mrs. Vicky Bazoula Papadaki will soon be with us. And before she takes the floor, rather before she did what she currently does, she was in charge of the Breastfeeding Center of Heraklion, and she has been organizing meetings on the issue. Since then, she has been in charge of the International Breastfeeding Day, representing WABA, and she has been working on translations from English into Greek on breastfeeding. She is the mother of 4 children. She teaches English, and she has studied computers and computer science. And she is co-organizer of this very interesting meeting, this very interesting conference. And we thank her from the bottom of our hearts for her efforts. We also thank Mr. Varakis, because they both have done an excellent job. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second day of the conference. This organization has been a group work, the result of teamwork, rather. Myself and Mr. Varakis have tried to make this dream come true. Many authorities, many bodies who are involved in breastfeeding have supported us. And rather, we've tried to unite them all. And I will commence today's meeting by addressing mothers mainly, and by allowing everybody to become more familiar with our association and with the work that is being done at an international level. When we started planning the organization of the conference, we wanted to unite and help cooperate many different bodies. Leche League Greece, Infant, Alkioni, local authorities, because we wanted to create a supportive network which would offer constant support and help to women. In 2005, I became familiar with this project, with an IBCLC advisor told me that I would have to resort to advisors of La Leche League. It all sounded very strange and very foreign, if I may say so, very alien. And I was very, very curious to discover what lied behind all these things. And the term organization and La Leche and women, other women supporting other women and so on and so forth, it all seemed like a closed circuit back then. But then when I started communicating with the liaison, professional liaison from Thessaloniki, whom I appreciate, she has been the reason, she led me to this, and I really loved La Leche League through her, so I thank her very much. So I had questions at the beginning, and I suppose that many of you have similar questions, and you may wonder, why do we women need an association? Why do we women need advice on breastfeeding? We are mammals, so why should we need support? Because after all, this is our destiny, this is nature. Why should we need advice about it? Anyway, let's talk about the international association to start with. Let's see what it does in Greece, and then if you still have questions, I will be glad to answer them. La Leche League International is a non-profit, sectarian organization dedicated to providing education, information, support and encouragement to women who want to breastfeed. It was founded in 1956 by 7 women in the USA during a picnic, and there are groups and teams in more than 80 countries all over the world, apart from Arctic. And it is considered to be the oldest and biggest breastfeeding association, which has been consulting the UN since 1979 and which keeps on cooperating with other international bodies such as UNICEF, WABA, always on breastfeeding issues. The name sounds a bit strange because the word breastfeeding is not included. This happens because back then, when the idea was born, words like breast and feeding and lactation were taboos. So this is why they decided to use la leche, which means milk. They were inspired by a statue in a church, Our Lady of La Leche. This is how they would call Virgin Mary there in that church. And the Church of St. Augustine, Our Lady of Happy Delivery and Plentiful Milk. This is how they called her. So this statue of the Virgin Mary was called Our Lady of La Leche. So the founding members of the association decided to use La Leche, and by using La Leche, they never consulted anyone, and they could also talk about it on the press and so on and so forth. There were not taboos about that. Well, we're lucky today because the word breastfeeding is freely and broadly used, but La Leche has remained as our name, and there are no religious connotations or ties or relations. La Leche has been since enriching its work, its publishings, its networking activities, and it has been recognized internationally as an expert in the field of breastfeeding. Some of these activities, some of its history is shown on this slide. We are talking about 62 years of history. It participated in the World Health Summit in 1951. In 1981, then it started certifying professionals, rather professional liaisons, IBCLC. We're very happy for that, and we're very happy for this anniversary conference taking place and uniting La Leche International with the professional liaisons. In 1989, the Information Center Center of Breastfeeding Information was launched in 1990. Together with the World Health Organization and UNICEF, it participated in the Declaration Innocenti on the protection, promotion and support of breastfeeding. And in 1991, it participated in the World Health Organization and UNICEF initiative on friendly hospitals, baby-friendly hospital initiative. It participated in 2003 in the publication of the WHO and UNICEF of the World Strategy on infant and child nutrition, and since then it has been participating in many different initiatives on breastfeeding and the diffusion of breastfeeding, and it has been organizing lots of meetings as well. La Leche chose many different experts from all over the world. This is how its prestige grew, because it has always resorted to experts. This group of experts, of scientists, has been active since March 2018. These are the names of the experts. according to the publication of 2017, but I'm deeply touched because two of the people of that list, from that list, are here with us today. So since March 2018, the specific group does not longer exist as it was. The activity has stopped, but the cooperation will not stop, nor will the constant evaluation of our material. But we want to create a scheme that will be more adapted and adjusted to the current reality. What do we do here in Greece? The Σύνδεσμος Θυλασμού Ελλάδος represents La Leche League Greece. We are a non-profit organization, this goes without saying, regardless of religious, political or other tenets or beliefs, providing support to mothers who wish to breastfeed. We represent in Greece, we have been representing La Leche League for about 40 years. The professional liaisons are first of all mothers who have fed more than one babies and who wish to deliver this art of breastfeeding to other women. So we organize meetings, we talk with women about breastfeeding, with mothers rather. Then our professional liaisons receive phone calls and pay visits to the homes of such mothers. There are groups coordinating other groups in Volos, in Mytilene, in Crete, in Xanthi, Seres, Drama, Igoumenitsa, Lamia, Zante, Corinthus, Sparta, and other places. And where there is no team, where there is no professional liaison, as in Syros, for example, we have a representative there disseminating our information material. We have promoted the publishing of a magazine. We are present on Facebook, and we have an online meeting group, in order to help mothers who do not have an organized team nearby, a physical organized team nearby. So we're also present on YouTube. And we have a booklet on breastfeeding, which you will be able to find in the Secretariat. So every year, professional liaisons answer more than 7,000 calls. They organize more than 100 meetings, and some extraordinary meetings in areas where there aren't any permanent groups. And they also organize meetings such as the one of today. Since the very first years of its operation, the founding members summarized the philosophy of the organization in the following words. Allow me to read such words to you, because some of those have evolved with time. Mothering through breastfeeding is the most natural and effective way of understanding and satisfying the needs of the baby. Mother and baby need to be together early and often to establish a satisfying relationship and an adequate milk supply. In the early years, the baby has an intense need to be with the mother, which is as basic as his need for food. Human milk is the natural food for babies, uniquely meeting their changing needs. For the healthy full-term baby, breast milk is the only food necessary until the baby shows signs of needing solids about the middle of the first year after birth. Ideally, the breastfeeding relationship will continue until the baby outgrows the need. Alert and active participation by the mother in childbirth is a help for getting breastfeeding off to a good start. Breastfeeding is enhanced by the nursing couple, maintained by the loving support, help and companionship of the baby's father. The father's unique relationship with his baby is an important element in the child's development from their early infancy. We understand that women and mothers need support network. So whenever we refer to the word father, we may refer to him as a partner or a grandmother or sister or other people who support the mother. Good nutrition means eating a well-balanced and varied diet of foods closer to their natural state as possible. From infancy, children loving guidance need loving and guidance and acceptance of their feelings. La Leche League was founded to give information and encouragement through personal help to all mothers who wish to breastfeed their babies, while complementing the care of the doctor, of the physician, and of other health care professionals. It recognizes the unique importance of the relationship between one mother and the other to help each other meet the needs of the baby. We believe that breastfeeding, with its many important physical and psychological advantages, is best for the baby and the mother, and is the ideal way to initiate good parent-child relationships. The loving help and support of the father enables the mother to focus on mothering, so that together the parents develop close relationships which strengthen the family and thus the whole fabric of the society. Mothering through breastfeeding deepens a mother's understanding and acceptance of the responsibilities. The way a woman grows through mothering, this is the way she grows as a human being, and every other role she may fill in her lifetime is enforced by her insights and humanity, the humanity she brings to it from her experience as a mother. The League's purpose is distinct. So we promote interaction, and La Leche League does not serve any other kinds of purposes, regardless. They may be noble purposes, but if they are against our main purpose, we will never be involved. We coordinate meetings. Women and mothers-to-be are not very familiar with seeing other women breastfeeding, but in more advanced societies, breastfeeding is quite common, and it is considered to be the best way for a mother and a child to connect. For example, a neonate may wish to breastfeed more than 12 times per day and may need to have free access to his mother's breasts whenever, any time, in order for the mother to produce adequately and efficiently, and for the infant to be able to breastfeed. Babies may wake up at night, and we know that embracing and holding the child in the arms doesn't lead to a naughty child, but enhances the self-confidence of the child. So a woman, in order to breastfeed, needs support for her to learn the art of breastfeeding. Unfortunately, however, when the environment is not friendly or has no knowledge about the issue, this is not helpful for the mother, and we need to resort to a different environment which is friendly for breastfeeding. This is why we organize our monthly meetings, and these are open meetings, whether women participating are members of our association or not. These meetings offer the opportunity for information exchange, and this is one of the two sides of the support, from mother-to-mother support. Every mother offers through her experience and her example. Every mother does what would spontaneously be done in a society where breastfeeding is common. How do we allow our baby to latch on our breast? How do we hold the baby? Do we need to prepare in any special way? What do we do when breastfeeding is painful? Can we take medicine and still keep breastfeeding? What happens if mastitis appears? There are many different sources of information nowadays for women who are interested. And when there are contradicting information, then women can resort to us. Quite often, however, the issues preoccupying a mother are not that technical. The mothers may wonder whether a pacifier or a soother is necessary, what the role of the father should be exactly. Maybe they should the baby sleep with us, with the mother and the father, or not, and when do we wean, and things like that. These are all issues for which and about which every mother, every woman needs to make her own decisions, the decision she considers best for her family. We keep saying that every mother should become an expert for her own child. So the help that we provide to a woman starts by listening to her. We provide information, but we do not become the expert merely providing information. We act as a woman to woman, as a mother to mother, and we help the mother find her own way, embark upon her own journey of motherhood. So we believe that every mother is the expert for her baby. One of the most important things that we do is to help a mother build her self-confidence and trust in her own mothering instincts. This way, the mother is empowered to solve many problems herself by looking for the baby and responding to his needs. We stand by the side of every mother. That's the second side of the same coin, if I may say so. So by paraphrasing a phrase of Irvin Yalom, we would say that we as leaders should reveal the several paths and courses lying ahead, like before the mother. We shouldn't choose the path for her, though. The mother should, because only the mother knows what is best for her child. So we support every mother to meet her personal goals and needs, while balancing her needs along with her babies in a framework that is normal about breastfeeding. This is the information on us, the websites, the sources of information about us, and thank you once again very much for being with us today.
We wish to thank Vicky for her speech. I believe we do have some time for a few questions for Vicky, if you do have. Comments off microphone cannot be translated. Please ask from the speaker to use the microphone. The answer is, you can find all of our counselors in our website. It's not a hotline, but you can see their availability on the website, which means that if you cannot find an advisor in the website, well, then you can call in Zakynthos, in Lamia, wherever she might be, in order to receive any kind of advice. So, thank you very much, Vicky.